Hello, 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 and welcome to the show that is all about that sloppy copy. Today we're talking about Volrath, the Shapestealer, a new card from Commander 2019. But before we get into this brand new card, be sure to like, sub, and comment for all my janky content. So Volrath, what does he do? For 2 and a black and a blue and a green, you get a 7/5 that puts a -1/-1 counter on a creature at the beginning of your combat phase. And for 1 generic mana, until your next turn, you can turn Volrath into a copy of any creature with a counter on it, except that it is still a 7/5 and has this ability. So a few things to take away from this. 1, you can do this at instant speed. And 2, you can copy a creature as long as it has any counter on it. A -1/-1 counter, a charge counter, loyalty counter, a frickin' prey counter. Side note, using prey counters with Tetsamok in hand is an easy way to meet that counter requirement. The point is, it doesn't matter what type of counter is on the creature. So the most obvious tricks with Volrath are just basic combat tricks, where you can turn him into different creatures for different parts of combat. For example, let's say you have Volrath, an invisible stalker, which is a hexproof unblockable creature, and an Oran Viper, another Commander 2019 card that gives your attacking creatures death touch and allows you to draw a card when one of your creatures deals damage to a player. Now, remember, in order to turn Volrath into a creature, the creature he's copying needs to have a counter on it. So let's say these two guys have prey counters on them thanks to Tetsamok. So we can turn Volrath into the Stalker, except it retains its copy ability and is a 7/5. We can then swing with it and it's unblockable. And then before damage is dealt, you can change it into the Viper. Damage is dealt and you draw a card. Easy synergy. But we can make this more complex by bringing in some activated abilities. We'll need the stack for this as well to explain how this works. So let's say you have a Bladed Agent, a 1/1 unblockable infect creature, and Joda's Avenger, a 4/4 that gains -1/-1 and your choice of double strike protection from red, vigilance, or shadow until end of turn. And if you're thinking, wow, that's a random card, you're right. I only picked it because it's the only creature without red or white in its color identity that can consistently have double strike. Anyways, you can turn Volrath into the Avenger, then activate the Avenger's ability to give your copy double strike, and this ability goes on the stack. Now, before we let that resolve, we're going to turn Volrath into Bladed Agent. We let that resolve and we get a copy of Bladed Agent, but that Avenger ability is still on the stack, and since it is still tied to the same permanent, it will resolve, giving our Bladed Agent Volrath -1/-1 and double strike until end of turn. Now you can swing with a 6/4 unblockable double strike infect creature to give an opponent 12 infect counters and kill them, because they only need 10 infect counters to lose a game. Want another gross combo with Volrath? Let's say you have Dark Depths, a land that enters a battlefield with 10 ice counters on it, and when it has no more ice counters on it, you sack it and create a 20/20 indestructible flying merit large token. Now, let's say you turn Dark Depths into a creature with Nissa or something else like that. You can then copy it with Volrath because of the ice counters, and Volrath becomes a copy of Dark Depths. Now, because Dark Depths is a legendary permanent and Volrath copies everything, including the name, the legendary rule comes into effect and you have to get rid of one of your Dark Depths. So get rid of your original one with the ice counters. But now, because Volrath is Dark Depths and there are no ice counters on Volrath, you can sack him and create your 20/20 merit large. Enjoy. But I know what you're here for. Infinite combos, and I know you like endless mana, so good thing Volrath does a lot of that. Here, I'll show you. First one is easy. You need Volrath, a persist creature, an undying creature, and Ashnod's Altar. Persist and undying creatures in a combo? Shocking, I know. Anyway, sack your persist creature to the altar to get 2 colorless mana. Persist says when this creature dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter, so your creature comes back. Now, do the same to your undying creature and get 2 more colorless mana. Undying is the same as persist except with +1/+1 counters, so your undying creature comes back with a +1/+1 counter. Now Volrath can copy them. So copy your persist creature with some of your colorless mana and sack Volrath to the altar, getting 2 colorless mana. Volrath returns to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter because of the persist trigger, but note he re-enters as Volrath, not the creature he copied. Now use one of your colorless mana to copy your undying creature and sack Volrath to the altar, making 2 more mana. Now because he didn't have a +1/+1 counter on him, undying triggers and he returns to the battlefield as Volrath with a +1/+1 counter. Repeat this loop for endless colorless mana. Here's another. You need Viridian Jointer, a green creature which taps for green mana equal to its power. So if Volrath is a copy of it, he can tap for 7 green mana. But if you also have a creature with an untap ability, you can untap him for more mana. Here are some that work well. Pili has pay 2 and untap it to make a mana of any color. So you can use one of your green mana to turn Volrath into Pili, use 2 more green mana to untap Volrath and gain a mana of any color. Use one of your mana to turn him back into the Jointer and tap him for 7 more green mana. This gives you endless colored mana. You get a similar effect by replacing Pili with Farmstead Gleaner to untap Volrath and make him bigger by adding a +1/+1 counter to him. Turn Volrath back into the Jointer to tap for even more mana and make a giant Volrath and get endless green mana. Gilder Baron can facilitate this combo as well. Turn Volrath into it and then untap Volrath to double all counters on a permanent. This can win you the game with cards like Simic Ascendancy, and again, you get endless green mana. You get even more endless mana with Devoted Druid that taps to add green mana and can untap by putting a -1/-1 counter on it. You can turn Volrath into the Druid and tap it 5 times, putting 4 -1/-1 counters on it, making 5 green mana. Now if you're running red, you can use one of those mana to turn Volrath into Morsel Hoarder. That states you can remove a -1/-1 counter from it to make a mana of any color. So take all your -1/-1 counters off of Volrath, and you get 4 mana that can be used to turn Volrath back into Devoted Druid and repeat the process for endless mana. You can kill off all of your opponent's creatures in a similar way by replacing Morsel Hoarder with Grim Poppet. Follow the first step of the last combo to get 5 green mana and put 4 -1/-1 counters on Volrath. Then turn him into Grim Poppet. Grim Poppet says remove a -1/-1 counter from it to put a -1/-1 counter on another creature. So remove the -1/-1 counters from Volrath to put that many -1/-1 counters on other creatures. Then turn back into the Druid to repeat the process to kill all creatures and get endless green mana. Wickerburrow Elder allows for a similar combo that doesn't go on forever. You can pay a green and remove a -1/-1 counter from it to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Now because you have to pay the green mana to activate the Elder's ability, you will eventually run out of mana, because you don't create any excess mana during this loop. But by turning Volrath into the Devoted Druid and then the Wickerburrow Elder afterwards and repeating this loop, you should be able to activate it enough time to destroy all the troublesome artifacts or enchantments on the board, even though this doesn't go infinite. So I'll end it there. Those are some combos you can do with Volrath. But there are some more jankier combos with him that get very weird and convoluted. If you want to see some of these horrendous multi-card setups, let me know and maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video. So, are you going to build Volrath? How are you going to build him? Are you going to put any of these combos in the deck? Let me know in a comment down below. And as always, if you like this, or any other shit I do on this channel, be sure to sub, like, and ring YouTube's bell. And when you get the itch to combo, I'll see you right back here next time on Combo Breakdown.